First of all then, you said the Tuesday's win obviously had been coming with the performances. Do you feel that we can use that result as a springboard now to push on?
I think if you look at the performances have been there. I've said it over the post matches. The results in the first two games, of course, were disappointing as in results, but we were always confident with the performance that the result was coming. We'd spoke within the changing room all week saying that someone was due to get 3 or 4 put past them because you could feel it coming. It was just unfortunate for Harrogate. They were the next ones on the list in the fixtures, and they just got it on Tuesday. They probably got all our frustrations of the couple of results we've had, and you could see the intensity from the start was there, and the lads and the staff all said at the end of the game, as they've set their own standard now, the second half of MK Dons, the game on Tuesday against Harrogate, that's the standards that we've got to adhere to now all the way through, and if anyone comes off it, then we've got to make sure that we're aware of it.
That standard was there from 1 to 11, and you mentioned after MK Dons on Saturday that you were closer to your starting 11, and we saw that obviously on Tuesday. Do you feel that going into this game against Salford you can start to get a run of games with the same group of players consistently?
Yeah, what you got to remember is that we only started the season 10 days ago, and that was the first Saturday game against Barrow, and there was players still behind. Don't forget Luke Norris, that was only his first involvement was in the Barrow game. Christian Dennis was his first involvement. So we're only 10 days into the season, so players are still getting the match sharpness up. So the biggest compliment I can give some of them players is you look how well they're performing now. I still don't think they're at the 100% yet, and like I say, getting them the minutes over the last few games and getting them the minutes in the last game, it's so important for us, and credit and compliment to them. I still think there's a bit more to come from them because they're that good of a player.
One of those was Leo Connor, of course. He was back to his old ways on Tuesday. How does that affect your thinking in terms of the right back berth at the moment?
Leo Connor's a good player. We've never doubted Leo Connor's a good player, and the other thing is that he always has been a right back. He was a right back that moved into midfield, who's gone back to his position he's always played. It's not that he's a midfielder and moved to right back. Right back is his home state. That's where he's played for his international team, and it was his intensity that pleased me more than anything in the MK Dons that game and in the last game. But not just intensity, he was forward thinking. He wanted to join the attack. He wanted to pass forward, run forward, and he just looked a top player by doing it. And again, talk about standards. That's his standard he's set now in the last game and a half, and he's got to make sure that he keeps to them levels now, not just for himself but for the team.
Yeah, in terms of injuries, then you mentioned Harvey Saunders has suffered a slight knock during the MK Dons game and might be out for a few weeks. Just a word on his injury and how long specifically that could be.
I don't want to give too much details away on injuries because you've got to be careful, but what he is his scans come back and he's going to be out for a couple of weeks, so it's unfortunate. He's an important player for us because his character and his mentality just epitomises what we want to do. I thought he was probably over the course of the minutes he was on, he was probably one of our best players against MK Dons, and typical of Harvey, he gets injured and he wants to carry on. He tries his utmost to carry on because that's his character. Fortunately, he had to come off, and like I say, he's going to be out, but with him coming out gives others opportunity then. So Charlie Jolly then gets himself on the bench and gets an appearance, and he's another good player, another one where he's got the right mentality that we want, and he's going to get his opportunity now.
Yeah, obviously Charlie coming in on the bench shows the attacking depth in the squad currently. And that's one of our strong points, and we saw Luke Norris and Christian Dennis together from the start on Tuesday. How do you feel this sets us up in terms of being able to switch it up and play different systems depending on who we're facing with that attacking depth?
I think we're at the point now where we've got to make sure we get our best 11 on the pitch, whatever we feel our best 11 is, and then there'll be maybe one or two who can change over and freshen up, but depending on the quantity of games that each one's had. But more often than not, we need consistency now, but we need them options on the bench now to come and impact the bench and from the bench and add to the intensity on the pitch. You've seen that on Tuesday. When it comes to 60-70 minutes, we just had to make a couple of changes, and the changes helped us, kept the intensity, and it helped us manage the game on Tuesday. And it was, like I say, the performance and result Tuesday was fantastic.
Just away from the fans, then you will have heard the shouts of Ian Dawes, Super White Army on Tuesday. How powerful a force were they in helping us to that victory, and how powerful again can they be this Saturday?
I think they've been brilliant all season. So I mean, I don't say all season. We've only had 3 league games and a cup game, but they've been brilliant throughout. Again, I keep saying it, you can't kid the fans here, because the fans know football and they know what they want and what they expect, and I think they've seen over the course of the games that they're pleased with the performance, and I think they're like us. I think on Tuesday I spoke to a few fans that I know and trust, get on with, and I think they were all looking forward to Tuesday's game. I think they felt like us. I think they felt someone's getting it soon and had a get with the team, but we just can't do that on the one-odd game. We've got to make sure that we're doing that every game now, and like I say, the start of games are so important. It's no coincidence we started the game like we did and the result followed.
It did. Salford next then, obviously they lost out at Grimsby on Tuesday but started their season with a couple of wins. So what kind of Salford side do you anticipate facing this weekend?
Salford have made a couple of changes. We always watch the opposition. They've made a couple of changes tactically over the 3 games, so they've mixed up with a back 4 and a back 3, so we've got to be aware of what they are and aware of what they're good at, because you've always got to do that. But ultimately, if we perform like we did on Tuesday, we'll be too much for them, and we'll have them worried about us rather than us worried about them. So it's all about our character and mentality for the game Saturday.